please take a moment of silence for the loss of people who have perished their lives during the wars in Sri Lanka and around the world. Please keep their memories in your mind for the next 2 minutes. Thank you. You may take your seat, please. As part of the remembering, honoring, and reconciliation process, memorials and monuments have been built around the world by many for the many decades. Notable examples are Jewish Memorial, Armenian Memorial, and Rwanda Genocide Memorial. Now, Tamils can join in this long list with a monument to reflect what has happened the thousands of miles away. It is every member of the Tamil diaspora's duty to collectively remember the inconceivable losses of lives in the Tamil nation. Next on the agenda, I would like to invite our welcome speech. I will call upon our Vice President of the Tamil Genocide Monument Organization to do the welcome speech. He has been an integral part of since the inception of the monument idea. He is one of our key advisory members from the very early and tirelessly encourage and guide us to move forward with this project. He holds very impressive academic background. He is a professor of geotechnical engineering, Carleton University, Ottawa, director, Ottawa Carleton Institute of Civil Engineering, and associate chair, graduate studies, Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Please put your hands together for Dr. Siva Sivatayala.
Good afternoon and vanakkam. I am Siva Sivatayala. I am coming here from Ottawa. I'm at Carleton University there, and I want to thank first. Can you hear me better now? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Bernard, and Mr. Mayor, councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all Canadians who stand for human rights and human dignity, I welcome you today to the design duty of the Tamil Genocide Memorial Monument. And thank you for being here and for your support to this initiative to establish a monument to remember the Tamil genocide and the people who perished in Mullawaikal. Now, humanity has seen tragedies and genocides over its history.
Some of them are remembered very well and they are well documented. Some others are not so. Nonetheless, the pain and suffering that people feel by those atrocities is universal. The agony doesn't depend on where the genocide occurred. The agony is universal. The world has to understand and acknowledge the pain of those who suffer from the genocides. Now, what's more heart-wrenching than that agony or than that anguish is the inaction of the world when those brutal atrocities were taking place. What's more heart-wrenching is the silence of the world when attempts are made to erase history or to whitewash the atrocities. What's more heart-wrenching is the inability of those people back home to even commemorate the memory of those souls that were lost in the genocide. Now, what's heart-wrenching is the feeling, is the fear that the world has abandoned, or the world has forgotten, or the world does not care about this genocide, or treats it as second class. Today, you in Brampton are saying loud and clear that Tamil genocide is no different than any genocide. You say it ought to be condemned equally strongly, and it ought to be remembered equally solemnly. Today, Brampton is taking a step to tell the world that one of the worst atrocities of this 21st century, the killings in Mulliwaikal, will not be forgotten and cannot be erased from history. Today, Brampton is telling the Tamil people that they have a right to commemorate the memory of their loved ones, the victims of the genocide, without fear of repercussions. Currently, the challenge people have back home, that they are not even allowed or permitted to commemorate their losses. You are setting a stage, you are sending a message to the world that you can't do that. You have a right to commemorate your losses. And today, the city of Brampton stands tall, and it stands as a beacon of hope among the millions of Tamils who are spread across the world. Now, this is but one step in the right direction as Tamils seek justice and peace. True reconciliation is only possible when the perpetrators of these crimes are brought to justice, and justice is served for the victims who yearn for it. While the killings may have stopped in the island, other forms of genocide, such as cultural, religious, and economical, are still going on in the island. We hope that the international pressure and the actions at the United Nations and its agencies would continue until justice is served and true peace is restored. The establishment of this memorial would accelerate the healing of those who are still suffering from the horrific memories. This monument will be cherished and revered by Tamils all over the world. Now, let me now speak to this monument, the design of which we are revealing today. This represents the collaborative efforts of multiple organizations, and it is becoming a reality today thanks to the hard work and support of many in Brampton, in Canada, and all over the world. Now, first of all, I want to acknowledge the city of Brampton, the mayor, the councillors, and the staff. Your wholehearted support has been instrumental in getting this project to where it is now. Following your approval to establish a Tamil Genocide Memorial Monument here in Brampton, an international architectural competition named the Last Genocide Memorial was run through the Bee Breeders organization. The reference to the last genocide was aspirational, and Bee Breeders received submissions from architects all over the world, and they shortlisted about 40 submissions for review by an expert jury panel. Now, the 17-member jury panel included professionals and stakeholders and was diverse and international. It had representation from North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. They evaluated the shortlisted submissions and considered various factors, including aesthetics, urban integration, and contextual awareness, and each panelist identified their top 3 candidates. We thank to all the jurists in the panel for their input and guidance. The submission by architect Verina Ramic from Bosnia and Herzegovina was a clear frontrunner. and it was selected as the final design. Our sincere thanks to all participants for their submissions, and especially to Ms. Berina Ramich for her flower design that's eye-catching, that's aesthetically pleasing, and it contextually is intertwined with the Tamil culture. That design form is a reflection of the flower, Kartikepu, the fire lily. Berina notes in her comments that a desire to participate in this competition was due to the experience of genocide in Bosnia. How apt is that? The design that we have selected for the genocide memorial is from someone who experienced genocide in her own country. Now, we believe this design has the potential to become a landmark in Brampton, and it will connect people and cultures that have suffered genocide all over the world during different times. This monument would be another place and another opportunity to integrate the Canadian mosaic. Now, I want to once again thank you, Mr. Mayor, the councillors, for your unwavering support to this project. Special thanks to Councillors Martin Medeiros and Councillor Pat Fortini for your leadership in bringing this project forward to the council and seeing it through, and for working tirelessly with the community. Thank you to the City of Brampton for showing compassion, for standing up for human rights and human dignity, and for showing leadership to Canada on this. Now, this is a monument that is open to all. Every community that suffered through a genocide, regardless of race, creed, or color, is welcome to attend this monument. They can visit, they can reflect, they can seek solace, and they can commemorate their fallen. This is a monument that keeps the history alive. This is the monument that helps the healing process. Now, this is the monument that reminds our future generations of the painful past of humanity and encourages them to aspire for a better future. I want to thank everyone who have worked on this project all this time and who are still continuing to work. And I want to thank the City of Brampton. You are leading the way. You are showing leadership on this project. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sivadayalan. The event has been generously supported by Councillor Martin Medeiros and Councillor Pat Fortini. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to call upon our elected officials who are in here with us. Lordship Mayor Patrick Brown, Regional Councillor Martin Medeiros, Ward 3 and 4, Regional Councillor Pat Fortini, Ward 7 and 8, Councillor Jeff Bowman, Ward 3 and 4, and Member of Provincial Parliament, Brampton North, Ms. Graham McGregor. I ask please all of you to come to the stage to reveal the design to the public for the first time. I would like to ask each of you, Mayor Brown, to say a few words, and followed by other councillors.
Vanakkam. And it is great to be here for this unveiling of the Tamil Genocide Memorial. I want to thank the Brampton Tamil Association, the Brampton Tamil Seniors Association. When Council unanimously passed this motion, it was an understanding that we wanted this to be a community-driven initiative by working with our two local associations. And this got international attention. And how appropriate. When the Montamil.ca monument was torn down, this was yet another attempt at historical revisionism. And we're seeing this play out. And I'm glad, I'm proud that the city of Brampton is a force against this historical revisionism. The Tamil genocide is a scar that continues to bring pain and sorrow to many. And when you see attempts to erase history, it makes that pain even more vivid and real. You cannot wipe away, you cannot erase the memories of the lives lost. And that's exactly what was attempted when the Montamil.ca monument was torn down with the blessing of the Sri Lankan government. And so I'm glad that the city of Brampton is very clearly showing that we stand with the Tamil community, we stand with the survivors, the victims, and we remember the lives lost. And I'd add to that, you know, we have to be very aware that there continues to be a propaganda effort by the Sri Lankan government to ignore the sins of what happened. And there'll never be reconciliation unless there is ownership of the genocide that happened. And you see right now, you know, MPP Graham McGregor just joined the provincial legislature, and we're proud of him and proud of the contributions he's going to give. One of his colleagues is someone that I recruited into the provincial legislature, and that's MPP VJ. And Graham has been working closely with MPP VJ. MPP VJ put forward a bill, the Tamil Genocide Education Act. And the reason that was important, it was to make sure part of our history teaches, just like we do for other moments in history, we teach the consequences of the genocide. And that act is being appealed by the Sri Lankan government. And right now, the Sri Lankan government is challenging the government of Ontario in the court. The Sri Lankan, there's a mock organization that was really being pushed by the Sri Lankan High Commission that came to attack our council's decision. And you know what we said? We will not be bullied, we will not be intimidated. And just like the province of Ontario isn't backing down, and just like the government of Canada just passed unanimously a resolution in regards to the Tamil genocide, the city of Brampton will never be intimidated or back down. And this monument is really a tribute to the struggle, a tribute to the fact that in Canada we will always do everything we can to remember and be an advocate for justice. And I have to say, we are so grateful in the city of Brampton to have this beautiful Tamil community that gives so much to our city. And we're excited to be a partner with you on this project, and I can't wait to come to fruition. Just looking at the small-scale version of this, I know it's going to be beautiful, and I know there's going to be an outpouring of community pride and support for this monument when the actual version is unveiled. So thank you for being here today for the unveiling, and Nandri.
Thank you, Mayor Brown. I would like to pay your attention to the TV screen. We have a 2-minute video that highlights the idea of this monument, how it was formulated many months ago. Two young Tamil digital artists have put together their creative minds to bring this monument to its visual masterpiece. Kudos to Kannan and Vaishnavi for their brilliant effort. Let me call upon Councillor Martin Medioras to say a few words.
Vanakkam. Thank you for being here today for such an important occasion for us to really bring life to what was an idea, what was a feeling, what was pain. And I must say I'm really pleased to be joined here. I know we have Mayor Brown who just finished speaking, Councillor Pat Fortini, Councillor Jeff Bowman, and certainly our MPP-elect Graham McGregor. And I know today is a day of council, so some of my colleagues are tied up in council meetings, so they would have been here. Brampton is home to over 4,000 Tamil people, and I've had the honor of getting to know the community well over the past 8 years, specifically through the Brampton Tamil Association and Brampton Tamil Seniors Association. If you recall, back in 2017, we were one of the only municipalities that received in our chamber, in our council chamber, the visit of our Chief Honourable Minister of Sri Lanka's Northern Provincial Council, Mr. Vagnam Swaran, who came to Brampton City Council in 2017. And we had a council, the chambers, which was full. And that was really my introduction, notwithstanding, events of how important and unified the community was. It was through these close connections with the Tamil community I came to know the destruction of the Muli Vaikal Monument, commemorating losses of life during the Sri Lankan Civil War at Jaffna University in January. And it's been an interesting journey because wherever I go, I get approached and I've been solicited a lot of times to understand, how did this idea come about? How do we here in Brampton, do the monument, knowing that there's communities across Canada and certainly across the world. And having seen what the atrocities that happened that day, and the first person I reached out to was my good friend Amal Xavier, and just walking through with him, talking through with him the pain of the community. And one thing I've been tired of as a politician is we sometimes give too much lip service. We share feelings, we try to do what we can, and I expressed to him, what can we do to really, show the community, some action. Let's show the community how we can do something here in Brampton. And, first I thought of a plaque, and Amal just said, I think a monument, and at the time I was taken aback, a monument, replica, a monument describing and speaking to the genocide and what happened. And certainly at that time, and I was taken aback a little bit. I thought about it. At first there were some mixed feelings. I thought, that's great, and great idea. And I reached out to my confidant, Councillor Fortini, and we played the idea and we discussed it. And I said, you know what, let's do it. Let's show the community, action. Let's show the community, and I was confident. Especially knowing, I know Mayor Brown has always been a big friend of the Tamil community, and I know many councillor colleagues, especially Councillor Bowman and Ward 3 and 4, have been very close with the Tamil community. So I was confident it would be unanimous. But obviously you feel a little sometimes concerned, what's the reaction going to be? And it was just amazing to see unanimous support by council. So it speaks to each single one of them. All of us are here to be unified, to support the community. And I think there were some really salient words when he talked about the Tamil Genocide Memorial is also going to be beyond borders. It's not just for the Tamil community. It really, I've had people from different communities who there also have history and culture, have experienced genocide, and they thanked us. So this was really a place for universal reflection, and I want to thank everyone involved, the Brampton Tamil Association, certainly the Brampton Senior Association, all the members of the community, and certainly my council colleagues. So this is a a journey that we're on, and it's been a pleasure working and getting calls on a daily basis from my good friends asking what's the status of the project. And I want to recognize staff as well. They've been working very hard on this. It's not easy because there's a lot of sort of considerations, and we have it right in Chinguzi Park, right in Councillor Fortini's home. He's the one who came up with that's the best location, and I look forward to our unveiling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Medeiros. I would like to refute a couple of points that you mentioned. The population of Brampton is nearly 700,000, and Tamils are well over 40,000 people. The second but most important point that you mentioned, that politicians are usually provide lip service, I disagree with that. It's a true example. These politicians delivered what they said they will support. So now I would like to call upon Regional Councillor Pat Fortini from Ward 7 and 8 to say a few words.
Thank you. Yeah, I was wondering when Councillor Madero said 4,000, I thought it was wrong because I know I talked to David. Every time I go to an event, there is more than 4,000. So going back, you know, when Amal was talking to me about this, I really kind of didn't know what everything was about at the time. So we met at Williams Cafe, and you said you're more educated. But when you watch that movie, no one should go through that. It's really heartbreaking. And, you know, it's really, so when we discussed it with Councillor Maderos and some of the stakeholders with Amal and them, and they wanted to do it in Chink Park, I was more thrilled. And I said, you know, this is a great location. It's going to be a world thing for everyone to come by and look at it. We looked at the design, and I really liked it. You know, it's safe for kids and low maintenance, and you know, this is going to be an attraction for anyone to go around and remember these days. And like I said, this movie, when you watch that clip, it's very heartbreaking, and that no one should go through something like that. So I want to thank our staff, our councillors, the mayor, for supporting it, and them all, and all the stakeholders for bringing this to our city. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Fortini. This monument garnered international interest, and because of that, we were able to get terrific designs from international architects. From that, we were able to pick the final design. The design feature consists of deep value to our freedom struggle. The shape was carefully modeled after Karthikaipu, also known as Glorosia lily, Tamil national flower. The structure will be approximately 13 feet wide. I mean, the standing structure will be 13 feet wide and just over 18 feet tall, corresponding Tamil alphabets, 13 vowels and 18 consonants, Uyireluthu, Meyyeluthu. The standing structure will be built on an elevated platform with reinforced concrete and surrounded with lush greenery. It will consist of 6 outer panels and 3 center panels. Now I would like to call upon Councillor Jeff Bowman, Ward 3 and 4, to say a few words. He is a very environmental conscious councillor. I have seen him picking garbage in many parks around Brampton. So he would be pleased to see this monument being built at Chinguzi Park, one of the most beautiful parks in Brampton.
Thank you very much, and I just be short and brief. Congratulations. This is something you can all be proud of. Again, I can't wait to see the actual unveiling of it. And for all of you who have any association with the Carabram Pavilion, I have worked very closely with Amal in the Carabram Pavilion since its inception. And any of you who have been with it since the inception knew that those first 1 or 2 years were not easy. Were not easy. And there was a lot of people who did not want that pavilion to be open in Carabram. But I was there. I've been there every year, standing firm with you, and congratulations on this. And I hope to see you all there at Carabram in July, and I hope to see you all visiting the pavilion. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Bowman. Let me invite next is MPP-elect for Brampton North, Abraham McGregor. Welcome to Tamil's event. This is probably the first event you're attending, more to come. So, stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Vanakkam. First, thank you, Councillors Medeiros, Fortini, Bowman, Mayor Brown, for hosting us today at City Hall and sharing the space, but also for your fierce advocacy for the Tamil Genocide Memorial. This is my first Tamil event as an elected official. But my history in public service, I actually, as Mayor Brown mentioned, I got to work quite closely. I was a political aide in the Ministries of Finance, Ministry of Housing, and I got to work very closely with our two Tamil MPPs, PC caucus members, Vijay Thanagasalam, I call him Vijay Anna, and Logan Kenapathy, who's a member for Markham Thornhill. I think it's important that we commemorate the vile genocide that happened to the Tamil people, but I think it's also important that we fiercely defend Tamil culture for the future, for years to come. When I was speaking with Vijay Anna, he worked very hard on the Tamil Genocide Education Week bill, which passed in the Ontario legislature in the last legislature, and the importance of that is so that we remember, not only do we remember what happened and we commemorate the victims, but also realize that the Tamil language is the oldest language in the world. That Tamil culture is an old culture that needs defending, needs protecting. We need to do our part here in Canada to make sure that we're protecting that, whether that's in Brampton with 40,000 Tamil Canadians living in the city, or whether that's Ontario-wide. And we at the Ontario government, obviously the legislature passed the Tamil Genocide Education Week. We also funded in the last government the first Tamil Community Center in Scarborough, which I had the pleasure to help Vijay Anna with, which was a joint initiative from the city, the federal government, and the provincial government. And I would just say, I thank you to the Brampton Tamil Association. Thank you to the Brampton Tamil Seniors Association. I was able to speak at the Seniors Association as a candidate, and as a Brampton resident, sometimes we hear our politicians say one thing during the election, and then they say one thing after the election. So I'm here on this side of the election to say to all of you here, to all the Tamil community in Brampton, I am here to support you. I'm here to defend your culture, to defend your human rights. I'm here to speak out against human rights abuses all around the world. So thank you for having me here. Thank you for everyone for the work here. And God bless you all. Take care.
Thank you. I'm making some adjustment to the agenda. I'd like to call upon Tamil Genocide Monument Organization President David Rajaratnam to the stage, please. I would also like to call upon a couple of generous supporters towards the building of this monument. I call upon Ram Selvaraja, Peel Regional Labour Council. Peel Regional Labour Council has been very instrumental in supporting our initiative, and they have generously donating a large amount of fund towards this monument. So we thank you for your contributions, and if you have a minute to say some words.
Thank you, Bennett. My name is Ram Selvaraja. I'm the first Vice President of the Peel Regional Labour Council. I'm also a Tamil, so which makes this doubly special for me. My grandfather, my uncle, and many of my family members were killed, and my relatives back home could not commemorate that. So thank you to the City of Brampton for this, allowing us to build this monument. What could be more benefiting than having a flower in the Flower City? Thank you. So my labor colleagues in the Peel Regional Labor Council have passed a resolution to donate $1,000 towards the building of this monument, and I'd like to hand over that check. Furthermore, my own union, OPSEU, the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, has committed $10,000 towards this project. My colleagues in the Tamil Workers Network who belong to different unions are working with their own unions to bring support to this monument. And we all hope, as the people who came up with this monument thought, that this will be the last monument for a genocide. We do not want to see another genocide happen in this world anymore. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Selvaraja. We have few more, David. We have few more donors in the audience, but before that, I would ask President of Tamil Genocide Monument Organization, David Rajaratnam, to say a few words as vote of thanks. We have few more items on the agenda. Stay tuned.
Major Patrick Brown, councillors, members of parliament, members of provincial parliament, city staff, and distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I am David Rajaratnam, President of Tamil Genocide Monument Organization. It's a great pleasure for all of us to be here on this day at this design releasing event of the Tamil Genocide Memorial. The monument is to be built in our famous Singusi Park in Brampton. First of all, I'd like to thank our regional councillor, Martin Medeiros, for listening to community requests and taking the initiative, bringing the motion to the council and pass with full support of the mayor and with fellow councillors. Also, my special thanks to our mayor and council for standing against genocide deniers. The entire Tamil community is very thankful to the city of Brampton for giving full support for this special project at a very prominent place in Brampton. This will not only be a monument for remembrance, but it will also give a historical perspective to the future generations. For our future generations, the monument will also answer the question they all will ask, why we came to this great country, and the agony the Tamil nation endured through the final stages in 2009. Thank you.
I would like to call upon Rajiv Haran Muthuraman to the stage, please. He is also another great supporter of our initiative. Thank you, Rajivanna. Next, I call upon Rajiv Sabaraja. Thank you, Rajivanna. Want to say a few words? Yeah.
So, my name is Rajiv Sabaraja. I'm running the business Camp Sonics, and I'm very thankful for Mr. Patrick Brown. My one of the dream when I come Canada, same project I want to do between Toronto and Montreal on the highway, because my life starting from Vanny, and 2002 I left from there, and before I living there like a long time, and I'm very impressed with this project. Honestly, I tell you, in the world, it's the first project And what we believe about the Patrick Brown, he done very well this project. Nobody can do in the world, nobody can have a talent to do this kind of project and approval and come to the board right now. And also the Brampton is a flower city, and I talked to many ministers, I talked to many MVP. You know what, we had to do something and remember the world, and they can think and they can do something. But this one I'm really proud of the Tamil community and Brampton people. Never ever I see him, any committee they do this kind of things, never ever. And never ever I see any government they support for us. This is like coming from our heart. And remember, we lose Lumeria, we lose Kumarikondam, we don't have any evidence. Tamil people, we live in the world and long time. Our culture is a very unique, and we eating the food, wearing the culture, clothes, respectful, everything very unique things. But nobody follow because it's very hard to understand. But I'm telling you, I want to do something, but Kamalika called me in the morning. I am on the job site. I'm the installer. I'm doing the job. Just I go to the Brampton Citizens, I change my clothes, I come right away here. Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. Just they call me, I come over here. For my respect, my belief, I think I want to do something. This project, until I living in the world or my organization in the world, I want to take a maintenance for yearly. One of the part of the maintenance, I want to provide them what are the cost of the maintenance. We need to upbringing this one all over the world. Who is the Tamil people, who the Tamil believe, and they respect the Tamil people. Anybody coming Canada, they need to come Brampton only. They had to come to Sengusi Park, and they can take a picture and they respect the people who deserve for us. As a Patrick Brown, the history of the life. We don't want to forget him forever. We had the memorial for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. We could see that your words are coming from the heart. Next, I call upon Ari Paramalingam to the stage, please.
Vanakkam. எப்படி இருக்கீங்க எல்லாரும்? Hi guys, how are you doing? Good? I'm going to speak Tamil only, okay, anyway. So, I'm from Mississauga Tamil Association. I'm president of Mississauga Tamil Association. This project is a wonderful project. We are supporting this project from our organization. At the same time, we're trying to help from our organization too. This is the history of our Canadian life. It's almost, they're trying to do the last 3-4 years. So a lot of pressure for this project from everywhere, especially I got phone call too from someone also, but doesn't matter, we will too be here to get this done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Arianna. Next, I call upon ABS P. Singaraja to the stage, please. Finally, I'll call upon Kamalita Rayappu from Chicken Master. Thank you, Rajaratnam. Mr. Rajaratnam. Thank you. We are almost towards the end of the event. I would like to say Rajananna to play the video one more time while he is preparing for that. This memorial monument is very important for the Tamils around the world. While the genocidal war may have ended, the long shadow of the war still continues. the continual sense of oppression, the trauma experienced by the survivors, and the relatives of the people who died in the war have been painfully felt for many thousands. While the perpetrators are roaming the street freely, continuing denial to the families to freely commemorate the innocent lives lost in a common and collective manner is still denied for many. The magnificence of this project is next to impossible to build without the support of our people around the world. Since the beginning of this project, we have received outpouring support, verbally and monetarily, and we would like to take this opportunity to recognize those organizations who are strongly behind our project. Aribaham Canada. The order is alphabetical order, not based on the importance. So, Aribaham Canada, Brampton Tamil Association, Brampton Tamil Seniors Association, Canadian Tamil Academy, Canadian Tamil Congress, Canadian Tamil for Justice and Accountability, Federation of Global Tamil Organizations, Federation of Tamil Sangsam of North America, FEDNA, Mississauga Tamil Association, Murasumotai Kandavalai Makkal Ondriyam, National Council of Canadian Tamils, Nedundivu Makkal Ondriyam, Canada, Ottawa Tamil Association, Punahari Samuga Abhiviruddhi Sangam, Quebec Tamil Development Association, Tamil American United Political Action Committee, Tamil Canadian Center for Civil Action, Tamil Cultural and Academic Society of Durham, Tamil Genocide Memorial, Transnational Government of Tamilulam, World Tamil Organizations. Please put your hands together to... While the support is immense, I would like to remind you that there is a donation desk at the right-hand side of the hall where you can make your donations. Volunteers are there to help you. And also, before I finish my presentation, there is lunch set up on the side of the table. Please help yourself. While your presence is very helpful and supportive, we appreciate you took the time to join us in this very important milestone in our history in Canada. We need your support continuously. Spread the good word, what we are trying to do in Brampton. What we saw and witnessed against our fellow Tamils in Sri Lanka is impossible to forget. We need to let the younger generation know that the troubled journey to fight for justice continues, not just for Tamils, but for many. This is an international human rights issue. If there is no justice for Tamils in Sri Lanka, then we cannot expect justice for any other communities around the world. So we need to let our younger generations to carry forward. Long shadow of war still in the lives of many in Sri Lanka. They don't have the freedom to express their opinions, but we do. They don't have the freedom to commemorate the victims, but we do. Thank you for your attendance.